With that, let us now take a look at the timeline of this incident. Remember, this was an Indian student that had gone missing on February 9th. Okay, so we have now the timeline of the incident. On 9th February 2026, he was last seen near Lake Anza in Tilden Regional Park. Now, this is a very tragic and unfortunate incident. He also last spoke to his father on call before going missing. So this Indian teenager was last seen on February the 9th, and his backpack was found on the doorsteps near Tilden Regional Park in California. Apart from that, we also have details now that on 10th of February 2026, his roommates, alright, on 13th of February, the Karnataka government requested that, on 12th of February, he was officially reported missing in Berkeley. Now, remember, this is a student that studied at UC Berkeley. He was pursuing a master's there in engineering, and he had done his graduation from IIT Madras in India and had studied chemical engineering. So on 13th February, Saket's parents wrote to the Karnataka Chief Secretary seeking help. Now, after his disappearance and him being missing for so many days, his parents got tensed and of course wrote to the Karnataka Chief Secretary seeking help. And on the 13th of February, the Karnataka government requested the MEA to coordinate help with the US authorities. Now, following the letter that his parents had sent to the Karnataka Chief Secretary, the Karnataka government requested the External Affairs Ministry to coordinate help along with the United States authorities. On the 14th of Feb 2026, the Indian Consulate General in San Francisco expressed concern about his disappearance. So the Indian Consulate General in San Francisco had come out saying that it was monitoring the situation and also concerned about Saket, who had been missing since the 9th of February. On the 14th of February, Saket's body was recovered near Lake Anza, where he was last seen. So we now know that he had gone missing on February the 9th and his body was recovered on 14th of February. Now, the Indian consulate confirmed that local police had recovered Saket's body. So following the recovery by the police, the Indian consulate also came forward and had confirmed that the body found near Lake Anza was rather Saket's body, and he has of course been found dead. Alright, so we now know that this student had gone missing. He was studying at a very prestigious university in the United States, UC Berkeley, and he was pursuing his masters. He had studied at IIT Madras and had been missing since 9th of February and was seen. His body rather was recovered yesterday near the lake. I'm being joined by my colleague Belly Thomas for more on this. Belly, first of all, it seems like the American dream has turned out deadly for the student. I would request you to explain to us a shorter timeline of this incident. What the roommate of this person of Saket had been saying in the run-up to his disappearance, how his temperament had been, and what has the police additionally, are we getting to know whether the police has come forward and released a statement on whether this was potentially a suicide? What more details are you getting?
Saket Sreenivasaiah, this 22-year-old Indian student who was studying at the Berkeley University, who had gone missing in the United States on February 9th, according to his friend, who had also took it to social media to share his anxiety on of his disappearance of his roommate. And now that Sreenivasaiah's body has been pulled up from the Lake Anza in California on Saturday afternoon local time, now it has come to light that he has been kind of showing symptoms of mental health issues, is what his roommate claimed. So he actually told he was staying with his roommate identified as Baneet Singh, who stated in his LinkedIn post that his roommate has been found dead by suicide in Lake Anza near the Berkeley Hills, according to the police, and the entire community has been shocked to the core. And Singh also stated that he was working with the authorities to fly Sreenivasaiah's family members from India to the United States on an emergency visa. And he also has shared certain
All right, Belly. All right. Thank you so much for sharing those details with us. I'm also being joined by Ambassador Gauri Shankar Gupta, who is an Indian diplomat, of course, former Indian diplomat rather. Sir, would you agree with this assessment now that the American dream is increasingly turning deadly for the students who go there to study?
Yes, Mehta, I agree with you fully. You see, in the last 2 years, if you see, the number of students going to US is now decreasing. And in fact, there have been many cases where they are not able to get admission properly. If they are admitted, they have been sent back. This year also, there have been some cases of this nature. Then the job being a problem, because a lot of these students go there for ultimately seeking a job, and they are not able to get the job and they are returning back to India. So that is another reason. So now more and more parents are becoming reluctant to stand for this reason. Plus this case of, some sort of suicide, some sort of disappearance, some sort of accidents are also becoming a hurdle in the process. I heard from some of the people I know in US, students, they are telling me that even if there is a traffic violation, there is a fear of cancellation of visa. So these kind of fears are also increasing in the recent months. So obviously I think this is good for India, because these students will study in India and they will work in India, and they will increase our manufacturing sector, and they will contribute to our economy better. So I think this is a good sign. The US economy is not able to provide enough jobs. The security is an issue. The fines and penalties is another issue. And of course, the cost of, is very, very high. So I think this is a good sign for India as such, but not for all those students who are aspiring to go to US and Canada.
Sir, additionally, we're seeing that this person was also, giving some indications of him being, mentally disturbed. And you've also talked about the pressures that come with people who go abroad to study. There's also the question of employment opportunities. So going forward, to avoid such cases, what should the government do in order to extend support to the diaspora living in the United States? Additionally, what more do you think that the United States government should also be doing?
No, Mehta, the best option now is that these universities are slowly opening their campuses in India. So first of all, you don't have to spend $50,000 a year or $100,000 a year for the education. They can get education in India and they can get the degree of the same university. So that is one of the very good options available now. Many UK universities have opened their campuses, and those certificates are valid for jobs in UK. So if they find a job in UK, they can go. If they don't find, they can work in India. I think that option is the best. We don't have to spend so much money in foreign exchange for educating the student there and then facing all sorts of problems. And these problems include their safety, their penalty, depression because of the job situation, and all those things can be avoided if the students, admit themselves in the local campuses of these universities. I think that is the best option in my view now.